entire theme song to the Thaddeus Matthews television talk show. So I thought I'd give you the entire song. If you wanna know what's Thaddeus, if you wanna know, ask Thaddeus, he will let you know. Yeah, yeah, what's Thaddeus? It's the Thaddeus. You like it? Matthews show. He's not afraid to tell the truth. He is the one that will inform you about all those jokers that are doing wrong. Sing, boy. You cross the line and then it's on. Sometimes the other dudes don't get it right. They don't get it right. And he does his homework every night. What's local news, world news, national news, he's gonna keep it tight. For the people he will fight. For what? For justice, for peace, for what he really believes. Not worried about doing time. More than a conqueror with God on his side. If you wanna know what's that, yes, if you wanna grow. If you want that, yes, he will let you know. Yeah, yeah, what's that, yes. It's the Thaddeus Matthews show. Make you hurry on. Oh, what's that, yes, if you wanna grow. Ask Thaddeus, he will let you know. Yeah, yeah, what's that, yes. It's the Thaddeus Matthews show. They keep on testing him to make him fold. When God made Thaddeus, he broke the mold. Haters keep on pushing, they keep on trying, but now they ought to know. Ain't nobody gonna keep his mouth closed, no. He's on a mission, God has got his back. That's why he can't never be cold on track. He's gonna be pushing the envelope, giving young folks some hope. For his people, he will fight for justice, for peace, for what he really believes. Not worried about. That's the reason I invite you each and every night to join me for the Thaddeus Matthews TV talk show, the most controversial television talk show anywhere on the planet. You can join me here on YouTube, Instagram, the Thaddeus Matthews and the Naked Truth Liberation Empowerment Facebook pages, and on TV in Memphis, Tennessee.
What can a no fee, no minimum cap?
This is the beginning of my deposition involving Keith Leachman, Charlie Caswell, and the Stop the Killing Cut the Beef CDC of Orange Mound, Memphis, Tennessee. My name is Vertina La Jolla Shalom Godwin Wesson. I hereby promise that the testimony that I'm about to give virtually and via social media for monetization purposes is indeed the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and I don't have a reason to lie, because as a rich white woman, let them tell it over there with their ridiculous selves. But let's move along. Before I start, I'm going to give an introduction of why we're here, why we're doing this like this, and the point that we have to prove, and why there is a siege in Memphis, Tennessee, and it's about to get worse because Donald Trump just chartered 4 new investigative agencies, and their proving ground will be up in Mefrica, and they deserve everything they're getting because they don't never stop malfeasing. I monetize my pain because we're tired. The body of Christ is tired. If you don't know who the body of Christ is those of us who had our Bibles, that they tear-jerked us into being do-gooders. And we get up every day, some of us get to wear regular clothes and put on 15 pounds of motherfucking bullshit to be told, fuck us. But as soon as somebody get on y'all's ass, then the phone can't rest. And then the mayor of Memphis told the fire department, fuck us too. Well, who you gonna call when your motherfucking house burned down? Roger Wicker in Mississippi said, call a crackhead. That means they're gonna call each other. Hundreds of millions of dollars have been malfeased in all of these Democratic-run cities, and they want to act like the trap did it. They did, but they didn't, because nobody told you to go out here stealing, robbing, and killing and carrying over them plastic ass shoes, robbing the train, running in and out of beauty supply stores with wigs and shit. You did that to yourselves. And nobody told poor whores of America to fuck with that PPP money. But you did, and your congressman and your senator and your mayor and the school teacher and everybody. And meanwhile, everybody let these folks fuck over the children everywhere they go. These children are supposed to be out here in the streets doing whatever they can do. They ain't got nowhere to go to get no relief. They go to the church. Here come Reverend Bullshitter. They go over to the school. Here come teacher so-and-so. Men and women. They can't go to the football game. They can't go to the dance school. Where the fuck the children supposed to go? They can't go home. Everywhere they go, they're getting fucked over. We gonna quit being decent about it. There is no decency anymore. In the middle of the worst tragedy of my life, where everyone was dead except the motherfucking children, and they started picking them off. I had 2 children to pass away in major tragedies. The public didn't even know it. I didn't come out for a GoFundMe. We didn't even invite nobody. We had a nice feeling like white people. They shot my motherfucking son. Me and his dad had him cremated 3 days later like Jesus and carried our motherfucking asses on. I've lost my entire family in the course of I know 5 years, because it seemed like after they took my mind, the shit just went left. They went to threaten cusses and Augustus. Damn, what the fuck he done did? Didn't nobody tell y'all to do this fuck shit? Well, you know niggas is stupid, and we gonna just go and say what the fuck I can say, and I can say what I want to say because this is my deposition and they let me do it how I want to do it. I deserve it. My whole family is dead, and all I get is some funky ass money that ain't worth shit, and I'm already worth millions of dollars. So what did I get out of this, of losing my nephew, my uncle, my 2 sons, 2 babies? My other children are caught up in sex trafficking right now, and we had to rescue my goddamn son from Trousdale fucking prison after a retarded boy mounting a riot rebellion and damn near burnt the prison down because he had got tired. Only then. And then it took all of this time just last week for them to go up in there and start arresting the fucking guards as if the inmates can order dope off the commissary. But what y'all allow is what will continue to remain. The Bible says, what is it, a profit of man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? I wasn't out there malfeasting. I was on the side of right. I took an oath to enforce the law locally, nationally, and defend this raggedy ass nation if somebody get on y'all's funky ass on a reserve basis. I didn't go out there fucking around. I minded my business, literally and figuratively, and the business interests of Cuss and Augustus, the business interests of motherfucking Adolph Robert, and the business interests of a whole bunch of other beating on the lunch table ass motherfuckers that couldn't read a contract, to the point where I got tired. That is, so what the fuck they calling you for? They can Google this shit. I said, they can't read Google. I had to get the niggas in the studio, drop the chicken wings off and edibles. Look, niggas, y'all get ready to sign these contracts. I know you can't read, act like you can. And what you can do is what you can fool them that you can do. Look for the following 3 vocabulary words: intellectual, property, and perpetuity. You see and 3 of them words, don't you sign shit, and you come find me or come find motherfucking Cuss and Augustus, and we'll get you some help. The shit that I do, the shadow work, calling me disrespect. How the fuck you gonna disrespect somebody's everything and then ask them to help you easily with a nigga mouth? Sitting up like I can't hear, like motherfuckers ain't gonna be missing. Come back and tell me, the bitch thinks she out there, this, that, and she's a townhouse cracker. How come she can't? Because her religion, she come up in here with all them silk sheets and shit wrapped around her. I couldn't wear my study to the fucking office, and I was the supervisor. Bitches sitting up there making less than me. I'm younger than them. I'm their supervisor because they got caught stealing, and the director went to jail, so they had to go find an interim director of a motherfucking nonprofit. I was 19 years old, but they let me get my motherfucking play in. If those of you who have your Googles, if you refer over to the FBI crime stats between the years of 2004 and 2008 when I left Memphis, because I only stayed there for 4 years to finish some education, wrap up some family business, and school as quickly as I could find my next assignment to go somewhere sniffing around for nigger malfeasance and report it and tell it. I've been blowing the whistle, if you're familiar with that law, for 32 motherfucking years, and every year I catches me $1 million. Every fucking year for 32 years. I go up in the office, work there long enough to catch niggas nigging. It don't take long. Nigging. Nigging a little shit. Nigging extra with ranch dressing and using a county credit card. I was like Randall on records. What else you doing over there? Not using the goddamn organization credit card to pay your dollars goddamn card note. There's a client, but she didn't get linked over here. That's one of your friends. You told her come up here and get a voucher. Tell that. What else you, girl? They're using the goddamn business credit card to put gas in your car, your daughter's car, and the nigga's truck. Okay, that's another hotel, isn't it? By the time I go tell it, they go, Wendy, you ain't coming in there, child. I don't feel good. My lupus is having a shenanigan. Lupus. By the time we get into modern time, child lupus fiasco is throwing a concert. I ain't coming into the office today, but somebody else coming through the fucking door. The feds to come kick that motherfucker in, take all the computers, all the paper, all the Stanley cups, and all the guy and chain the motherfucking doors. Somebody gonna come calling me after 20 some years and gonna say, cracked out ass bitch. You know what? I said, girl, you can cut that fake ass whining ass inflection off. I have gotten sick of you ridiculous Proverbs chapter 6 eyelash wearing ass bitches. What you want? I just thought about it. It is. Every time you come, the feds come right after them. We don't see you again, and then you be looking different, and you this, that, and the other. That's why you got all them names, because they let you run around. I said, bitch, take your funky ass to rehab. Don't call over here fishing for motherfucking information, bitch. The fish ain't coming in yet. The people just hit me from Arkansas. They ain't gonna stock the lake for another couple of weeks. Then you can come fishing, ho. Get off my motherfucking phone. I don't even act like that with nobody but Memphis people. When I get anywhere near Memphis, I have to put on for the city like Young Jeezy. I have to pull myself together because I know I'm fixing to have to go into this negative, low vibrational, anxiety-laden ass place, and energy is contagious. Everybody's miserable. Everyone is fucked up. It stinks here. It makes me sick. And I goes back to my childhood and I have a whole fucking anxiety attack. I don't want to be here. Can we hurry up? I don't like it here in this Memphis. Oh, I don't like it here. It just makes my stomach hurt. It makes my head hurt. They can't bring me across the freeway of Memphis because it's like my body knows, okay, you're in Memphis, Italy. I kick gas over here in Germantown. Nickels in the reverse. It used to be a day in time. I ain't coming to Germantown. Now they done took over the best parts of Memphis with their nigger shit. And it's not the poor ones, because nigger has nothing to do with a skin color. It has nothing to do with a socioeconomic status. It has to do with the fact that you get up in the morning time, look up at the sun that God made, and sometimes a cloudy day, and say, I think I'm going to get up and go to work where I already make $71,000 a year and I was raised in the projects on nothing and steal from poor ass people. Or you get up in the morning with your unwashed ass face and your ill-washed ass Virginia ham sandwiches. Y'all don't never range them hoes off right. Look like the more motherfucking station in life you ridiculous bitches get, the funkier them Virginia ham sandwiches be smelling out through the office. I get sick of a funky, snooty bitch. Bitch, you sitting up here just like you somebody smelling like fish, feet, and body fantasy for $1.99 sitting next to the register at the Family Dollar store, where you certainly is in there using somebody's credit card other than yours, the organization where you're the executive direct, to buy bullshit and nonsense. But as soon as someone comes, I'm sorry, we ain't got no sisters. Who sent you around here? Who sent your motherfucking ass anywhere? Oh, I would be just so upset. I didn't last in the office but a year or 2 or 3 maybe. They said, you stay at home and you just be the forensic accountant. We'll just send you the shit after we bust these bitches and you find the nigger shit in the files and we'll go from there. Oh shit, I ain't got to deal with the general public. Does it come with a per diem? Oh, goddamn, Maylene, here he come. Yeah, what's your per diem gonna be? Goddamn, I'm already spending the money with y'all. You keep me well. You know what's up. You know what I like. Keep your hoes and slaves happy. You ain't gonna have no problem out of me, Master Thaddeus. Well, Master White Man Senator Ed, I ain't telling him he ain't gonna have no problem. I get these 17,000 pages of documents back to him quick as I can. Child, I tell everybody, look, y'all, I gotta go on the Jesus journey. I see y'all in 3 days. I go play dead, ignore every motherfucking body, get to them 17,000 documents, and come back with them condensed down to about 200. Here's every point that I found where the niggas was nigging, and I put the reference points right there. They'll know what pages in the original goddamn document. And there you go. Where's my Montes? I'm gonna pull this Henrietta Hutchinson Civil War snub nose 38 out, and I'm gonna pump your ass full of freedom fried rice, just like Nina Simone did, that man over in Switzerland. I want my Monte, Mr. Attorney, over here. And they just go to giggling. I guess my money. If they see some shit that look like nigga shit, they will come and find me. An agent scared the shit out of one of my kin people, and it wasn't the agent's fault. It was the kin person's fault. If you wasn't up in there doing no fuck shit, you wouldn't have had to been shaking for your fucking life when the feds knocked on your fucking door. You ignorant motherfucker, that was on you. Nigga shit. I ain't saying not police around here. Why not? Because you around here doing some fuck shit, Miss Ethel, and letting these niggas trap out this motherfucking house. And thank you for the introduction. I hype myself up. Let's talk about this traumatic shit. Let's go, because I'm not finna be here all night long. And I'm not finna hold you long like a lying ass, cheese agrees, a ridiculous ass thieving nigga preacher of any denomination. It used to be Baptist. Now they all in on it. Here we go. As the investigators already know, I was the lifetime 32 years of whistleblowing and 32 years of arguing back and forth with Gerald Kilo Berry because he would not keep his ass out of penitentiary, but I was the most reliable friend he ever had from in the beginning all the way to amen. All right. In and out of penitentiary, in and out of penitentiary, may or may not be the baby daddy, does not matter because he's dead and the baby is not a baby no more. He's a grown ass man worth $61 million. But moving along. All right. The man came home. Of course, you know that. Y'all released him on parole. It was last year, well, year before last now, in July. He got violated. He had to go back to the federal penitentiary for whatever reason. While he was at home is when he got tied up with Leachman and everyone else on what's colloquially known as Speedy Corner, which is the corner of Park and Grand in Memphis, Tennessee, and Orange Mound. And of course, they had that other house around there on the corner of Airways and Lamar, the pink house. You know, we know the locations. We're going to move along, investigators. All right. So Kilo came home. He tells me this, that, and the other. I said, yo, shit, I have been sick of it preemptively, post-haste, and everything else, pre-partum, postpartum, and antepartum. You're not going to act right. He said that he was. He revealed to me some intimate, private things about his childhood, his angst with his mother, and other things and deleterious in his life that caused him to commit crimes and have substance abuse problems. I was thoroughly sympathetic. We set a treatment plan for him. He claimed he was going to go on the straight and narrow. So when he was released the second time, of course, he was ill because he had been diagnosed with what they're all diagnosed with. It's not material to what we're talking about right now, but you know what I'm talking about with the inmates and the gastrointestinal problems. Moving along. So we're doing what we can do. We're trying to get him re-entered. We're working on the thing with Kanye and then with his album and the guys that fleeced him, so on and so forth. Not important, but just establishing a timeline. By the time we move along to this, he's now home. His mother, he stayed there with her previously. Briefly, she set him up over there in her friend's actual ILF model in the condo, Grahamwood, Summer Graham, moving along locations, establishing the thing. On the time that I went up there, where Mr. Berry told me that this business deal that we were doing with these properties was on the up and up and so on and so forth, I was only involved because, number one, I could produce the documents because I kept the template for my business purposes, for legal purposes, of course. Everything legit, always and forevermore. I did the template as requested. I did not see a problem with it. He claimed he was going to get it notarized at the local funeral home. He did not mention which funeral home. We only know there's a handful of them. So, I mean, you don't have but 22 to choose from, and realistically, you have less than that because 7 of those funeral homes are owned by the same group of people. And we know who. Y'all already diddling around over near that Easter egg basket. Let's go. All right. So, I come there, I attend to the business that I came there to attend to. We handled the thing with the deed. They fixed it up. I found the gentrification man. I lined up the deal. Neither one of them had a bank account. I allowed him to use my bank account because they assured me that it was legit. And according to the rules of lawyering, and everything else, I can accept the monies into my account. When I broker a deal, reserve my fee and then forward the rest of it to my client because y'all busted dude down here in Mississippi for the same thing. He kept the girl's money and so on and so forth or whatever. But I did not keep the money. They got all the money. I was not even paid a referral fee, a rice box, or anything for calling my developer friend. Um, from Yemen and getting them to purchase those properties. They were the ones that actually alerted me that there was something malfeasance with the properties because Mr. Redacted called me and he says, Shalom, I think there's a problem. They're saying that the properties were stolen and it's fraud. You need to contact someone immediately. When I tried to reach out to Mr. Berry's family member because his mother actually notarized the document and she notarized a stack of other documents for him that day because I went, I spent the night. I cooked chicken for him. You saw those postings and different things in the text messages and the posting that I made on Facebook. I left, and there was a brief period where after his remains were found, they accused me of being there with him after he was deceased. But there had been a full 30 hours break in between the last time I was there and when I returned to my place of domicile and his actual demise. It was, I guess, verified via phone records, GPS, or however you did it to prove that I was not there. You had the surveillance camera of whomever that girl was that was standing outside with the bonnet on, and that was another point of contention because everyone knows that I don't wear such items, nor was I fitting the description of whoever this girl was. His sister, Quanda Party, and you have the spelling in the file, is totally complicit in everything, as is his mother. I don't know if they are involved in the malfeasance with Mr. Leachman and Stop the Killing, Cut the Beef, but they're definitely involved in a concerted effort to defraud the government through bogus income taxes, ill-notarized documents, and other forms of malfeasance of notarizing documents without verifying them, and their due diligence is never done. When my ex-husband was there and I was there at his residence 30 hours before or however many hours it was before he was found deceased, he was actually sitting there at his computer working on some fraudulent documents. There were food stamp declaration determination letters and other documents related to some sort of scam fraud against the Department of Human Health and Human Services, the Food and Nutrition Services, specifically SNAP. There should have been at least 2 dozen EBT cards with varying names on it using stolen identities. I do believe, I cannot prove, this is just speculation, that those identities that they were using in order to apply for those benefits were either gotten from one of two sources, either a friend of theirs that worked for a mini public storage location as the manager, where a health practice was storing their things there, lost, their whatever, didn't pay the bill. He popped the lock, found out that all the storage totes were full of people's supposed confidential information. Or, and this is not in that particular town, it is not unheard of, someone is actually providing them with the personal information of someone due to their records and files. Because the things that I saw to him were intake sheets that he was getting, and we just didn't know where the intake sheets were from. I glanced at what I could glance at, but I really couldn't be nosy. I could only covertly pick up what I could pick up when I put my lay on the land, because he knows, and it is what it is. It's my deposition. I can say what I want to say. I don't fuck around with the fugazi. I will fuck everybody and everything up on this planet, but I don't fuck around with the federal government, and definitely got no money over there fucking around, because they will throw your ass upside a wall and take everything you got unto perpetuity. I read the fine print. Sometimes I help write it, but there's neither here nor there. All right, grand jury. So while we were always doing that, I had to go to bed. As a country girl, as a church lady, as a old woman, I be in the bed by 9 o'clock. I be in the bed sometime before folks chillin'. Because I have to tell, hey, bitch, tell your children to lay down now. Old folks is in the bed, and so am I. I went to bed. I had that long ride because that was another thing. I was testing myself to see realistically how far could I stand a car ride. I got there. I was swollen, health problems, vascular insufficiency, just like my Lord and President, Uncle Johnny Dunny. So I did what I did for him, went laid down, half-ass worked and worked half-assly, and took my ass to sleep like a good narcoleptic. In about 9, 10, 11 o'clock, he was still over there working on defrauding the government of food stamps on his trusty computer, which is in the possession of his sister, Quanda Party, after he passed away. She came to the mother's garage after we cleared out the ILF model, and she took all of his scam office equipment. So she has it either at her residence or some other place, but she has it in her possession. And I guess she's going to take his place in the food stamp income tax fraud because they do it every year. Moving along. Somewhere around late in the night. I do not have an approximate time. I can just give you a roundabout estimate. It was somewhere after 9 p.m. and definitely before sunrise. So we're going to get biblical. At about midnight, Mr. Leachman came into the home of my ex-husband, and I never went downstairs, so this is reliable or unreliable. Check his phone records, his GPS triangulated. He came there that night. I knew it was him. He's loud. He has a distinctive voice and just general nigga shit. He come in. He's, hey man, this that. He say, hey man, my gallows there asleep. You know what I'm saying? That's my good bitch, and can't do no ride around like that. All right, man. I'm saying, hey, you got the shit. And so they sat down there. They consumed what I'm going to assume is crack, whatever drug that they did. They were ridiculous with it. Now this is where it gets kind of weird. About somewhere around the time when he was down there with this man, I turned over in the bed because I literally slept in the spot where they found his body. And that has unnerved me for the longest of time. I literally, when I asked them, so where was the body at? And they showed me the crime scene photos. That was the spot that I was lying in because I left one of my earrings there. It came, his covered pillow, whatever, snatched it out of my ear and it was still stuck in the little doohickey. But I was laying in a spot where he was found in, and a spirit woke me, and I rolled over in the middle of the night, and it was like a dark shadow, and I screamed, and he ran up the stairs to see about me, and that was the death angel then looking out, that ain't him, that's her, and kept moving. Because when he actually got in that spot after I left, but it was 30 hours later, he didn't even look like he was actually deceased when they went there. He looked like he just laid down where I had been laying down and folded his little hands in his little sleeping stance and went to sleep and just woke up dead, as the elders would say down here in the country. Upon receiving his autopsy, and I'm quite sure you all have a copy of it in your court file, he had more drugs in his system than we knew that he was consuming, and that he was not silent nor quiet about his drug usage. He had an actual saying, and I'm going to mock him for the sake of anyone who knew my ex-husband. Yeah, bitch ass nigga, I smoke crack, and if I do, I buy all my crack with my motherfucking money. I ain't got to do this, that, and the other to get it, and I ain't fucked up about none of it. You know what I'm saying? He was a proud crackhead. He got up every day, scheme, did what the fuck he did. He was not a violent felon. Everyone that knew Kilo, G, Gerald, Barry, Senior knew his ass, but you better not lay nothing down to look like a financial instrument or an identity around this summer, bitch. He gonna make a bogus check in a minute. He just goes straight for the gusto. He don't want merchandise. He going straight up in the bank. His thing was, if I gotta go to jail, send me to the feds, goddamn it. I'm going for the gusto, cause jail gonna feel the same way if you fuck off a bubble gum or if you go for the M, you know what I'm saying? That was his shit. And as you know from that nigga's record, he went for the M every time. I remember when he went back to prison back in 2011, come calling my house down in Atlanta. I said, bring your ass on, you know, I ain't gonna never turn you down. But don't come down here fucking around, and I seen you noodle niggas when they run your ass to the penitentiary. Come on me, hey baby, I'm out, this, that, and that, I'm gonna get me $1 million. I said, how? I'm gonna do this, that, and other. I said, your ass gonna go to the penitentiary and shit for your ass even check in with the bro laws are good. Secret Service said they sometime just out of just sheer nothing, it gets bored around the office back in them days, and they just pull out the tape of him calling me and me cackling like a fool. They could hear me giggling, and they could hear a baby giggling in the background. And you know, babies giggling brings everybody joy. It was our son. He was a little boy to me, and I told him, I said, your daddy is on the way to meet you for the first time, but it'll about probably be the last time you meet him because his ass going to the penitentiary. And we just started giggling. And I'd be damned if that wasn't the absolute truth. Our son got to meet his dad one time in his entire life, and they'll never meet again. But he left him what matters. He left him that talent, because old jackass can sing like anybody you need him to. He can rap, and he can be the doppelganger for Michael Jackson and anyone else that you need him to be. He has all of my talent and all of that man's talent, and our son is a virtuoso. And we ain't gonna tell you who he is, because that ain't none of y'all's fucking business. But my son is the Beyonce of niggas. He can sing, he can dance, he can write music, he can perform. He looks like the doppelganger of young 2 or 3 people, depending upon what wardrobe does for him. And when he's not doing that, give that boy a book and a laptop, and he can, he got the engineer in him. He just works so, just so cold with the tech. And just so with mom, this, that, and the other, and da, 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 da. And then get in the booth and turn into somebody different. It is what it is. We poured with the best of us went into him. And he walks around this planet looking like a I don't know what. And let his E-Trade thing over there at the place, that boy is worth 61 of them damn things. Ain't shit he can do with none of them. But he does what he wants to do. He lives life abundantly, and he had never seen the inside of nobody's schoolhouse until he got caught up in human trafficking. We'll talk about that another day. That was just for the entertainment purposes of the people that's engaged. Back to you, grand jury. So Mr. Leachman comes over loud, tacky as hell, cackling in the middle of the night like a project woman. Got the man high, did whatever they did, but when they found him, he had all them drugs in his system. And for those drugs, I can testify, double dip under oath. He did not consume any of those, therefore it must be deduced that someone did something to him because there is no way unless somebody had adulterated the drugs before he bought them and he did not notice what it was. Somebody did something to him because he was not on all of those things listed. The alcohol, yes, the marijuana, of course, and he was a proud crackhead. So therefore he should have had cocaine metabolites in his system. The rest of that was uncharacteristic of him. However, moving on to Mr. Leachman. From that night until the day of Gerald's funeral, I never met that man. I knew nothing about him. I didn't even know his name. I just knew him as my homie with the non-profit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put y'all in the car together because he needs some help because his shit flimsy in the motherfucker. You might get him some money from the United Way, one of the rich white churches like you did so church. And I was going to do all that. So when we had his memorial service, and it was all right, his sister played over my top. I didn't give a damn. She called herself better than me, yet everyone on the internet to sing this one Virginia Hammond. Nobody still don't want to buy it because she ain't got no husband. And she's the mistress of one of my friends from high school's husband. The whole town knows it. Don't nobody give a shit. Let the hoe be the hoe. That's his wife. She's out of the danger. Shit, if the hoe gonna go out there and do what he tell him, then send the money home to me. Do you need another hoe, baby? I go order you one from Temu. Shit. That's sex trafficking, but that's a joke. Some of us wives just don't give a damn. Long as we can lay around and do what the fuck we want to do, have your hoes. At least we ain't got to suck your pee-bird. That's what them hollers is for. And the men's is fine with it. They don't want their wives doing that nasty shit. That's what hoes is for. We let hoes be hoes, and we be the first lady of these churches. Man, this man came to this man's memorial reception, and everyone there knew that I was this man's widow and that he had a squad of hoes. Me and the hoes got there with the mammy, took the picture like good grieving widows and hoes. What in the hell I'm gonna turn these bitches away for? He dead? I'm not finna be acting petty over a dead nigga. And my name didn't even get in the obituary. And I was legally married to that bastard. Married his ass in a prison fucking furlough fuck shit with a damn what is it, girl? Minnesota got a online credentials. I said, is this shit legal? She said, yep. She says, well, file a paper for the house, y'all good. They do it all the time for the inmates. I said, good God Almighty, because I guess he knew that a day was going to come when he would have a legacy that would be managed, and there'll be no one around to do it for him. And so I promised him that I would. But toward the end, he knew that it just wasn't what it was supposed to be. So I'm really torn over whether or not someone gave him the hot pack or whether he committed suicide because his soul was tortured over various many things and he had gotten tired, and then he realized that the best part of his life had been spent in bondage and there was really no way to recover. He had lost the best part of his life and had really nothing to show for it but a bunch of, ill-gotten late model struggle buggies is what I call his collection of old ass luxury cars. But it's all. He came to this man's reception. He disrespected the reception first and foremost by filming. And we had already told people we don't have no taping, no filming, no picture taking. We have a photographer here because y'all like to post things on social media. We know people are doing illicit things. There will be no private photos. They did it anyway. Everything that we told them not to do, they still did it. So when he came to the reception, and at first he was, we here, we tacky. He was cock checking me, and then I'm running from the man constantly. I'm stressed out. I'm in a juke joint. It's all trifling and confusing. And I got to go cook my husband in the morning, and my nerves wasn't quite ready because I had to literally cook him. When you have to be the one to process your family members and they ain't dying naturally dying because somebody with some bullshit, it does a lot to you. So I'm trying to pull my feelings together. He constantly chasing me around. Like, oh, baby, who is you? Found somebody said, that's the nigga's wife. Goddamn, you gonna leech me? You gonna cockhound the nigga's goddamn motherfucking bitch for the nigga even get gone good? Shit, let the lady alone. Oh, I didn't mean no disrespect, me lady. I know. You the one upstairs. You the one with the Cadillac. I said, yes. Oh, yeah, that's I hate we had to meet under these circumstances. And right there in the middle of the funeral reception, started hitting me with his pitch deck and what all he need done to that defunct ass nonprofit. I let him have it. I just went on and let him get his puck on because you have to. If you do not, it just creates more problems. So we traded phone numbers or whatever within 72 hours, just like Jesus pretending to be dead. He contacted me with his list of demands. Sir, I don't know what the fuck or who you've been used to doing business with. We have a protocol over here. It's called a discovery call. We have to see if your mission and your organization aligns with the values of mine before I put my name, my work, my labels of love on anything of yours. Let's talk about some things first. How long have you been in business with this nonprofit? Where is your corporate location? What have you done in the past? Are you already supported by anyone? Do you receive any, endowments, disbursements, grant funding, and so on and so forth from any other sources? Because it'll save us time and appointing applying for something you've already not qualified for or already had. What else have you done? Do you have this? Do you have that? He had absolutely nothing but a Facebook page, a homemade logo by someone that was absolutely horrible. I tried to make him take the thing down, and then only at our behest, I tell him, I said, sir, in corporate America, whether it's nonprofit or business, they can tell when it's some nigga shit because no one with good decency would actually attach a corporate brand to something with misspelled words and trying to. They can tell when it's a nigger business, and it is what it is. I'm gonna call it, but I'm fucking weird now. You already complained about these people racist. They deny your applications because they can look at it and say, okay, nigga shit. All the S's is Z's, all the K's is, all the C's are K's. Some of this shit over here fucked off. Who the hell on this thing? Deleterious Johnson, in the garbage it goes. And then sometimes they only go through all that bullshit. Is the nigga box check? Yep, in the garbage because they already know you're not going to pay for anything and you're not going to comply with rules and regulations. Sir, you just sat here and told me that you had this nonprofit for over 30 years, yet you have no tax returns, you have no annual reports, you have no ledger for us to even do anything for talking about any grant money. Now, this particular grant that you want so bad from the city of Memphis, Shelby County, or wherever, is requesting that you do a due diligence statement on what you did last year with some money that you got. And I'm wondering, how in the fuck did you get some money last year when your organization is not properly chartered? His organization was once something. Someone put the bug in his ear that if he flipped it to be a community development corporation, that he wouldn't have to be bound by certain things and there would be certain monies earmarked for that. Community development corporations popped up like, what do they call those things? Dandelions out of the blue in Memphis about 10 or 12 years ago. Everybody all of a sudden wanted to be a CDC because community development is what the vast majority of some of that money that was earmarked for nigger reparations sent through the faith-based initiative program was for. Rebuild the trap. Those of you who had your Bibles, that had the resources, buy back the trap. Become your neighbor's landlord if you can. Get ownership of your own communities. They were putting this money there in these CDCs, and the CDCs were supposed to be taking care of the elders with, assistance that they needed with whatever, and offering financial management classes and other things through SCORE, FHA, USDA, local banking sponsorships like Tri-State Banking, I think it's defunct now. Regions, Guarantee Bank and Trust, which of course, this is my squad with, and Bancorp South, in order to give these poor people low interest mortgages in order to be able to purchase property in these dilapidated communities, and then further offer them incentives to fix up the property, which is why they had the program where they were supposed to have them go around. They were basically giving away these vacant lots for nothing if you had a sustainable plan in order to what to do with the lots. So he was actually running around, I guess, quit claim deeding, getting whatever he could all over Orange Mound with or without permission, so that his brother, who is also complicit in this crime, brother's name is Clifton Nichols, but he's affectionately known as Fred, so I don't know if that's that man's middle name or just a nickname. But he's complicit in it. I actually had a distasteful interaction with Mr. Fred here a couple days ago because I reached out to him because I need additional something for this and for my debriefing and something else. And I called him. I said, Mr. Fred, and as I said, and other. And he just starts hollering and screaming and cursing at me. Mr. Fred, I'm trying to assist you because your brother had your business's name on a bogus deed that he had me to generate. Not to mention the fact we hosted an event that was full of child molesters, and your grandchild almost got accosted at one of these community engagement events. I'm trying to help you with your grandbaby. I don't give a damn. Maybe you are complicit in what your brother has going on. Because when I sent out tax receipt certificates for the first time, he said he had never received one, yet he allegedly had been a corporate sponsor of his brother's nonprofit since its inception. I didn't even reach out to the women organizations like the Twisted Sisters and others that claim to be sponsors because if he didn't get one, they didn't get one. I spoke personally with the what is this position? One of the regional managers of the Marine, the skiers Marine, and I let them know that they may need to speak with someone because they had never received a tax certificate and they had not received that one. Then there was some malfeasance going on, and their deductions may not be tax deductible because they had been giving that man $5,000 per event for who knows how long just to get their logo on a flyer for an event geared toward people who will never even get their asses on a boat because they can't swim and afraid of water and couldn't afford a boat if they could. So you may need to look into that because that makes no sense. When you're in corporate America and you sponsor an event, you sponsor it for one or two reasons. Either because you're trying to make your bottom line, so you get some money over to the poor Nick nugget so the tax man can be happy, or you're hoping to garner business from the people that will attend that event. Ain't nobody coming to Keith Leachman's damn unregulated health department violated chicken eating dysentery meetings on the corner in the trap store parking lot and then leaving there and buying a boat. Something is not right with this whole thing. It's Memphis, and if Memphis has anything to do with it, you can best believe that maybe indeed from birth until death they were all in on it because everywhere that we investigated pockets of fuck shit, it seemed like everyone was complicit, whether actual involved or knowledge via inaction. That acts and omission shit is going to nail a lot of people to the wall because y'all are going to be able to go get your warrants, go into a whole bunch of places. You're going to bust one person, and yet when you do your questioning, everybody in the office is going to be aware that so and so and so and so was doing that, yet they didn't want to cause any trouble or lose their job. And what about their bills and what about their kids? That's why I got with the other senators over in the legislative branch of the government, and we're going to change these mandated reporter laws and do some amendments to this whistleblower act, which I'm a professional whistleblower. I feel like at this stage of the game, I've told it enough. I don't want no more money. I'd rather just show others how to go in there and detect the nigga shit and how to get everybody's ass together and help strengthen the laws so they can stop doing this shit. Because there's no way for that tacky man, and we're moved past the stolen nonprofit stuff in the D's and got on over here to old Charlie. According to Marcus Randolph of the Morning Ride, a bullshit blog out of Memphis, Tennessee, where he sits around and behaves like a post premenopausal messy auntie, and argues with no one but women. He has never yet picked a fight with a man other than Uncle Thaddeus, and he did not win that one. And then come groveling up to the hospital trying to disrespect the man's final moments with his actual family after he had previously made fun of this man and did all kinds of bullshit while he was on his deathbed. The ill intent shoved toward Uncle Custom Augustus while he was still fighting for justice until the last end. With his last breath, he was giving me instructions for the book of Thaddeus, or who the fuck over, what to find in the cloud, what to turn into y'all, and all kinds of shit. And to the very end, they fucked over him. Yet old Cheesy Greasy Pretty Ricky passed away and didn't even get the consideration of nothing but the flowers that Batesville provided complimentary because they spent so much on their casket. Yet we tried to lay old Cusser out like a king, and we did everything we could. We would have went harder and larger, but I couldn't crowd the venue out with a whole museum of Thaddeus. But we gonna work on something. He gonna get something other than what we've already agreed that I should establish in his name. The shit should not have gone like this. And then everywhere you go, my soul has been shaking because there were people that I would encounter down through the times of doing all these investigations that I really thought were decent people, only to find out that they were disingenuous. Because here is the way that I was raised, and this is what I instilled upon my children. The nigga bitches used to do this back in the day. They would come in the house, something would be amiss or something would be whatever, and they would demand to know who did it. If the children didn't tell, because there was always a gaggle, a haggle, or whatever, a group, a congress, or whatever you want to call a group, a gang of them bad boys roaming around the premises. Who did it? You didn't tell it, everybody would get punished or get their asses beat. The latter more than the former. If you or a loved one are sitting your ass up in an office, especially when the government has spent all this money on getting signs printed, hanging upside the wall saying call the ombudsman, call the inspector general, call so-and-so, they put it in the employee handbook, they tell you, look, you find out one of your co-workers fucking the clients doing this and other malfeasance money, your ass better tell it. Knowledge of fuck shit is complicity. You're worse than the other person because they did the shit. They did it. But you know they did it. You knew the shit was wrong. You sit there and watch them do it. You didn't stop them. You're doubly guilty because you're complicit in the knowledge of knowing they did that shit. And when you did not stop them and they did it again, that means that you are an accessory after the fact of whatever the fuck they did because you acknowledged they was doing this shit and you would not fucking tell it. The law need to be applied and it need to be actually some penalties to it. There needs to be a class F felony attached to the books in some of these states if the states have not made it to the F yet. Tennessee can get to the F felony and they can be my felony for anything that's covered under any crime that I, amend. Charge their ass with an F felony. Fuck them up. Get their ass to the 10 in a federal penitentiary. Because when you've made it to an F felony, you violated the laws of probably the state and the federal government, and you fucked over somebody or you fucked up some money to the point where it got so ridiculous that you didn't know have no business doing this shit and wouldn't nobody stop you. Get your funky fuckboy ass in this fucking cell for at least 5 to 10 and a minimum of 2. Because the fuck you got, the federal government is up and us is tired of you. Get your ass in this cell. No parole. And then when you get out, every noodle nickel your funky ass get, we want a quarter of it. And if a quarter is more than a nickel, so y'all figure that math problem out in your head. That means we ain't leaving your ass with shit and you're still going to be 20 cents short when you get where you're going. We are sick of niggas here at the body of Christ. But I know those of you who have to come to these grand juries, the reason why I decided to make this shit entertaining and turn into content is because it breaks your soul to sit there and have to hear about people doing all sorts of unnecessary nonsense, and usually for the love of money or for the love of nothing, for the sheer fuck of it, because nobody wins. So he calls me one day out of the blue while I was in intensive Zoom meetings and mandatory meetings over there at the USDA because we know the great unfood stampery was coming and it was trying to figure out what to do. I called him. I said, Mr. Leachman, crack smoke nonprofit. Bishop Leachman, look here. And I would call him by his middle name. He would hate, that's a Fontaine. And he was such a disrespectful man. If I would do this, that to you. You wouldn't do shit to me, sir. You couldn't even afford to feed me, let alone eat my Virginia ham. I don't even like that nasty ass shit. But look here. You need to do this, that, and the other, blah, 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 this, that, and the other, so on and so forth. We can get some food, we can do this, we can do that. Fuck the food, that's absurd. They finna die. I can't tell you what they finna do, but they finna get crispy toward the end of fall coming up with these food stamps. Now, there's made some shit going on. I found out it worked. I ain't got time for that. Fuck it, they wait to call around yon and call there. I just text you the number. Call Charlie Caswell so he can get in the car with his secretary. And you need to go in the department of so-and-so website and get my driving thing and sit around there. He finna fuck up and fuck the shit up so my driver's license can get unsuspended. I said, sir. And then the Spirit of the Lord said, get it, do it. Do it. Do it. I heard, shit. Those of you who is watching from the grand jury, those of you who is watching from social media, I swear for God, I was going to cuss that man to the Holy Ghost hole. And I heard the spirit of cussing Augustus come down like the hellfire through my, do it. Do it. This it. This it. This your ball. Do it. Do it. Do it. I said, okay, sir. He sent me the information. I will call. I called Mr. Caswell. I said, hello, Mr. Caswell. My name is Shalom, and I'm the contract executive director for STK-CDC. Mr. Leachman asked me to reach out to you something about a secretary in his Department of Safety record. Oh, yes, baby. I know they get real juicy on the phone talking. Oh, yes, Miss Darling. How you today? Don't you sound lovely? Yeah, baby. I'll send that to you, and her name is such and such and such and such. You can just email her, and it ain't nothing, nothing. Just send it, the ticket numbers and whatever it is, and whatever. Now we'll get it done. And you're having a good day today. I said, right, I have a good day every day, sir. Well, that's nice. I'm glad he got somebody over there helping him. And you're the one did all the work in getting this organization together. I said, yes, sir. We're trying to help him establish his footprint and perhaps scale his funding availability, things, opportunities is available for. Hey, yes, nice, good professional gal. And I look forward to meeting you one day, maybe. Yes, sir. I don't actually live in Memphis. I work remotely for Mr. Leachman. Oh, well, where you at, baby? I was Calientes, Mexico sometime, and then sometime I'm here in Talajish and Kathmandu, India. Sometimes I'm down in Venezuela. It really changes, sir. Oh, well, Shady, you just look like you be everywhere. Well, I can see why you're in high demand, and you sound like such a polite gal, and you sound like you're just absolutely beautiful. It's just, you got a little accent in your where you from? I said, North Memphis. He said, no, where you people from Afghanistan? I shit you not. That man said Afghanistan. I said, no, sir, I just told you where all of my people are from. We're from Aguas Calientes, but my mother's people are from Talajish. My father is a white man from backwater Mississippi, Alabama, hillbilly deliverance country. So I'm half hillbilly and I'm half Hindu and the Halahuji on the radio sometimes. Oh, you do radio. That's nice. Well, shit, I can't wait to meet you sometime. When you're in Memphis, you got my phone number. How you gonna cockhound me, nigga? Get your ass on somewhere. And I heard he got a wife. Oh, they be ready to just nut on the phone, listen to me talk. So I reached over there. I got my tablet. I punched up the secretary just like I was told. I went on the Department of Safety website, Homeland Security, and it's a man down here that's a city councilman or something or another, and they just then blah blah blah, and get a warrant and check my email and my telephone. I ain't got nothing to hide. I don't send coot pictures to me and folk, and they don't send me pictures of smoke sausages. The worst you might see is a whole bunch of inappropriate ass ridiculous nigger jokes because I'm an undercover racist. But have at my phone records, I ain't got shit to hide, and all my burners ain't burners. These on my corporate account, so you can check the Georgia line and the California corporate number. You ain't got to worry about my 901 numbers because I don't never answer those fuckers. The line is active, but the handset is somewhere loose in one of my many residences, and I ain't looked for the motherfucker in 2 years. I call periodically and clear the inbox and let them know that this phone does not make outgoing phone calls. Please, this is just a general message box for the so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. Oh, we does business over here streamlined and got that properly done. I ain't never owed the tax mine and nobody else. I might, toe the law like a good lawyer supposed to, but I don't break that motherfucker. And if I do, it definitely ain't the kind of breaking that they do. Any crime that has been perceived a crime that I have ever committed in life was a civil infraction, and the victim was myself. I refused to get a driver's license for so many years because I says, why in the fuck do I need a license to drive? We was driving before there was a license. Get your ass away from my window and give me this funky ass ticket, you son bitch. I'll pay it in the morning. Did you hear what I said? I will pay it in the morning. The morning don't never come to niggas, and we just gonna call them what they are. Who's gonna stop me? It's the First Amendment. Y'all can sit here in this grand jury and listen to me say nigga. Y'all have to sit here sometime and listen to folks about they done killed the baby and all the scuzz bucket things that they do to violate these children, each other, and all these heinous murders. A little niggin ain't never killed nobody. Not listening to the niggin shit. It's the actual niggas themselves. He would get so insulted by the N word, but he wouldn't stop acting like one. And that's the little girl who was the administrative assistant, who, for the purpose of this, we'll call her Baby Bop. Baby Bop was there before I was. And I was glad that we worked remotely for him because he would get drunk and talk about how he would violate this young lady if she were not what he thought was a member of what we're going to refer to as the eligibility committee. He thought that she was a lesbian, so that was the only thing that deterred him from accosting this young woman. The thing that disgusted me the most was even if she were not what he thought she was, and she's actually hetero, she was supposed to have been his niece, not his natural niece, but the actual niece of one of his friends. She had respected him like an uncle. She called him, she called him Mr. Leachman. She didn't call him uncle or anything, but he asked my homeboy's niece and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. And I wish this, that, and the other. Child, you can wish on a fucking star and it'll fall on your head before that shit happened. I wish I had a jukebox everywhere I go, but alas, I have to walk around with noise canceling headphones. That'll never happen, Mr. Leachman. But they would get so comfortable with me that they would sit up on the telephones and just tell them about all their crimes and exploits and all the people that they've done, all them fucked over, and how they don't do this and they don't do that. And I wanted, now, why do you think I want to attach myself to you in any capacity when you sat here and told me the 11 to 9, yes, 11 to 9 ways that you fucked over everyone, including your mother, your children, your friends, your neighbors, the firefighters, the Mr. Busy down there that sells the turnip greens, and from the thing, the cat that throws the newspapers, and everybody in Busy Town. And I'm supposed to do what with you other than get the fuck away? I had to explain to someone as a part of that crew over there, what you and Leachman got going on. Nothing but federal indictments and whistleblower money. What you got going on over there, nigga? What you calling for? You got to do diligence letter? I know you did. Don't call me. I didn't do your taxes. And nothing else for y'all. They were always calling me to clean up the mess after they've gone somewhere. Someone has done something fraudulent. There's a 99% chance that it's going to rain on Thursday, and there's a 100% chance they were always complicit in it. But when the shit gets to fan and they're stuck holding the bag, then I need you to file this amendment, sister. I need you to do this. I never got compensated. Comptroller's investigation report has the financial records from Cash App, where we were able to secure that man 6 figures worth of grant monies. I was paid less than $1,000 for the near $1 million in grants. And the young lady, I don't know what she was paid because I wasn't privy to it, but I believe it was about the same or less than me. Most of the event items that were purchased, there were food, and that food was prepared outside the realm. There was no permit, there was no health department inspection. I actually went to the event for that reason because I wanted to basically do him a pop-up HD inspection. Nothing was held to proper safe serve temperature, nothing. The cold things were not cold, the hot things were not hot, things were exposed to the open air. There was no hand sanitation, there was no anything out there. And this was the winter time. He had the grills open, allowing the rain to fall on the food. It was not covered by foil or any other protective covering. The clothing that he was issuing to those people, he did not package it properly. It was not even anything. They had shelter there because we brought the restoration tent where I did the prayer and, handing out the contact cards for the actual people to contact me later so they could be questioned about those events and other things in the neighborhood that we needed to, get some clarity on. But he basically threw that stuff out there on the wall like it was trash. We do have the, in your evidence packets, the videos and the reels and things that you will be all able to see. Even when I was not there, I contracted with other local content creators that will pull up on the scene for me and film those events in order for us to get footage so that you could see what he was actually doing with his monies. There was a total of several events. If you refer to one of those flyers where he claimed that he was doing a blight boot camp that was geared toward teenage boys. Not a single teenage boy actually participated in that program or received any payments. He paid the people that he did have cleaning on Cash App, of course. One of them was his actual cousin. There was some discrepancy about the rate of pay for that day. The cousin pulled a gun on him, and there was a huge melee. I cannot tell you right now the exact date of that, but if you go down through the actual evidence packet, it'll be around the time when he would have received a community blight grant. The flyers for the blight boot camp, where it promises that they're going to do this, that, and the other to the young men, because either preceding or post that was the event where they took the young men down to the Withers Museum. Um, There was also an Easter event called the Bunny Bash or something like that. And after that was actually when, Easter is March. April, somewhere around mid April is when the whole thing hit the fan with him and Charlie Caswell and me demanding, that something be done for me, and you're doing too much now because I'm not going to be over here complicit and participating and being the middleman pimp for your racketeering schemes, and the shit hit the fan. Um, and of course, 6 months preceding that is when the alleged charges for my arrest that were unenforceable came down, and we got that situated. But basically, every event that he had, every set of receipts, they were improper. There was actually no ledger to balance, so we could not keep his average daily balance going. We could not reconcile anything because he never showed us any bank records. We did not have access to any checkbooks, any debit cards, any system records. He had no annual reports on file, no past tax returns. The only thing that I was provided was what you all were privy to, which was that 1 year's worth of records. And he actually, we made the one ledger for that. It was sent over by Baby Bop and sent over by all the things that we put in the Dropbox. Those are the only records to receive from that man, that 1 year's worth of records. And as you see from the exhibits where he spent shortly after disbursement, even thousands of dollars at that place called the Living Legend. According to our investigation, we had someone to go there to the Perkins address. Perkins address, of course, there isn't. That's not Living Legend. That is something else. Living Legend was located around in the Oak Court Mall, which itself is now about to be condemned. We sent, and it should be in your Dropbox attachment. Living Legend sells nothing that a nonprofit will be interested in. I had the initial investigator that engaged me once we actually made the official complaint. And I told her, I said, I don't have time to miss words. I'm tacky, and it is what it is. I earned it. This store don't sell nothing but outfits for the young men that you see standing about the front of the corner stores in the unfortunate parts of town. Now, if the nonprofit was going to do something with bedazzled blue jeans and T-shirts with vulgar slogans on them and rhinestones and glitter, then so be it. But when he bought $2,000 worth of it, I know he's a big fat ass, but I don't know if he took $2,000 worth of denim and rhinestones to cover his ass. And she fell out laughing. I personally feel that the Living Legend is someone, more than likely either someone he knows or either a relative of whomever is pulling strings on him, Charlie Caswell or whomever. But the amount of money that he spends in there leads me to believe he's doing POS fraud, piece of shit, and point of sale, because I tested something myself. I do a lot of spending. I have other people spending. I told everybody, I says, while you're out spending, every time you do some spending, if you hit it right on the dots, send me a picture. We had people out, I think there was a dozen of us in my quick little experiment. Out of a dozen of us that was in that group chat, we did it for a month. I think there's 5 screenshots in there of where like 12 of us were able to hit it dead on the dot with all the spending that we did over a billing cycle. Yet every time you receive a disbursement, you're going to this store and you're spending exactly on the dot a $2,000 purchase, a $3,000 purchase. And these are like back to back. He's using their POS machine to run that card and letting the owner of it, pay the money back to him so that he will not be, in grocery stores or wherever, because he did not have a bank account when this all started. They had to pull some strings for him to get a bank account over at the City of Memphis Credit Union because his credit was so bad that check systems and that other one who I can't remember the name of right now, is immaterial, would not allow him to get a basic checking account. When you can't get a Chime card, you done something ridiculous in the world of banking, and I'm quite sure I know what he's done, but he couldn't get a bank account. He couldn't get anything with prepaid cards, and he needed something to receive that money. Even if he would have taken the check, physical check, if they gave it to him, to their banking cash, and where is he going to deposit however much money they gave him? Some of those grants were maxed and capped at $25,000. That's not to say he got 25. We don't know what he got because he never showed us anything. The emails were vague. It would only say that you were approved for the grants. It never would say what the amounts were because they assumed that every organization that applied was on the up and up, had been vetted, had met all the metrics to being a properly chartered, registered, duly, in compliance nonprofit. His was not, and as far as I can tell, it's never been. Even when I wrote those grants, he still wasn't in full compliance because he's never issued an annual report. He didn't even have a mission statement. He didn't have any of the basic metrics of nonprofit corporate presence to have received 30 years worth of funding from those two municipal sources. So therefore, it is my opinion, and I'm going to close this out, that the entire organization, Stop the Killing, Cut the Beef, with CEO Keith Fontaine Leachman, is nothing more than some sort of organization where this man is just getting his grant money and providing kickbacks to whatever politicians or the city, whomever, that's allowing this. Because this man has made no impact in that community for him to have had that organization for 30 years. And Orange Mountain is a worse place now than it was 30 years ago when I discovered it. And he has a vendetta, a ridiculous something against Brittany Thornton, which is the city council member that's assigned to his district. He gets mad every time she gets some sort of funding, and he gets whatever, because he even threw another man, one of my trainers, Reverend Moore over there, the Church of God and Freedom from Unnecessary Negatives. And they gave Stephen Moore $1 million. He's supposed to get $1 million. He's been in business for longer than you have around the same time. And he lost his son to charter his foundation. It was a public incident. He gets all sorts of funding from other sources. He's supposed to get $1 million because he's visible. You can't kill a Nick Nucket in Memphis, Tennessee without Uncle Steve's sign popping up. Red and Rice, Uncle Steve. Don't bring more. Here's a dog thing. It's this and other. It says, stop coming around fucking over here now. I don't want you to get hurt. These new niggas is not like the old niggas. It had me upset. Uncle Steve's had to call and cuss my own uncle out in front of some trap niggas just to make the shit look good. Oh, me and my family will put on a show for a nigga's ass just to act like we doing some jackass. And then, oh, me and Thaddeus will do the most. He going, like this, that, and the other. We got to get to the bottom of the shit. How the six traffic your boy through the goddamn group home in the villages. You ready to get your ass dragged across social media tonight? Get the dragging, you ridiculous ass nigga. Let me amp myself up, hype myself up, and I have to boost myself up in pregame to be the ratchet me. And then he go, live tonight on Facebook. This ragged ass bitch Maylene, who used to be my investigator, come call me with some bullshit, fuck shit. And bitch, what the fuck the motherfucking white bitch won't shut up. But fuck you, Thaddeus. This is we killed us so much shit. But we got to the bottom of it. And now, I guess I'll finish this out with a little announcement. It has been decided and the stars have lined up that I will lead the charge for the class action lawsuit for the unsheltered people of Memphis, Tennessee, all the evicted women and children who got kicked out, from their housing for whatever reasons. Anyone that has been messed over any of these youth facilities that were funded by the county. Anyone who was supposed to receive county anything they did not receive, but somehow it appeared. I don't need your money. Y'all keep all your funky ass money. I just want my name in the paper and in the book when they talk about it later on. I just want them to say she did it and the bitch did it for free. That's pro bono motherfucking don't know. So very soon, we already got the council cluster lawsuit underway with the major firms. Morgan and Morgan and Nahas and Heritage and Trosh, shout out to you, Ryan, are going to be the actual plaintiffs. I'll be the case steerer. I'm going to drive the car. They're going to do the heavy lifting. I'm going to do the talking, and everything else needs to be done. Call me Benicia Crump, and they can keep their motherfucking Montes because I got my own, and I'm not giving them none of mine. No more. My only contribution to the fight for humanity will be my labor of love. I'm not giving nobody else. Now another one of these homemade ass ridiculous slips of paper or none of these cut and dried flans they didn't convince us was worth something. I'm over it. They're going to fend for themselves or they're going to fend for you for the sake of the federal, state, or municipal government in which they owe the allegiance of taking care of them to, because they'll be inmates. I'm not saving anyone else. I'm not running into no house fires. I'm not doing anything other than defending the honor and integrity of somebody when it comes to a press conference or something or the impact victim something. I don't give that many fucks about the shit no more, to be completely honest with you, because the level of malfeasance, fraud, and nonsense that we uncovered, just me and my team, which wasn't even that many people. That's why we try to look, and we got to get us a cross section, this, that, and the other. We can take 4 sides of Memphis, and every day we go to 5 different corner stores, this, that, and the other. We can have this shit covered. We can have 200 stores done in a year's time. And we don't have to even go, but they still gonna pay this, that, and the other and just roll. Because from the time you get an assignment, you got 72 hours like Jesus pretending to be dead to complete the motherfucker. We can get this knocked down. Those of you who have your Bibles and those of you who have your Googles, a year and a couple of days off because some months have 31 days in them. Nearly a year to the day of them assigning us our Doge contract to go be the food stamp police. That's when they shut all those stamps off. When we turn in the book of stamps, I didn't even turn in the entire report yet because I'm not done with it. I ain't turned that thing into them senators and shit. I am still working on it because I still keep around like, damn, I remember I went to the so-and-so and so-and-so and I saw the nigga doing this, that, and another store man was in on it. And I had to go back in there and constantly edit and add things and edit and add things. Because the amount of people that think it's okay to malfease money just because it comes from the government, or that an affluent person is okay for them to take an L because they got money and they can replace it. That's reprobate, immoral thinking. Or shall I dare I say it? That's nigga shit. Y'all have a good evening. I'll be back another day and time. I've given you an hour and 10 minutes and 15, 18, 19, 20 seconds. Oh my goodness. It's going to be all right. It's going to be over. History is made over here. Legacy being built. And I don't have to die in Pohori as a broke hoe. It's fine with me. My husband's a decent, respectable man of God, of the law, the land, and everything else. And everywhere he goes, he's respected. Oh, according to Proverbs chapter 1, my husband and my children rise up and call me blessed. And by the work of my hands, I get the shit done when everybody else is in the bed. Oh, the candlelight sometimes, or the light of my laptop has to be my only light because I'm not going to disturb my family, but I have to get up sometime ass crack dead in the morning and catch them stock shits overseas and talk to the people in Guangzhou or Shenzhen. It does not matter. I get the job done. For a lifetime in at least 32 years, I have made sure that Diligence ass did what the fuck he was supposed to do. And if Diligence did not comply, I was going to go tell Diligence supervisor if that hose was some fugazi, I'm going straight over here to the proper authorities. I can give you a chance to straighten up. Fine. Fuck it. I'm going to go tell the boss. And the next thing you know, if that don't work, I go tell the bookkeeper, the accountant, Bob, hey, Bob, huh? They over there fucking around, this, that, and the other. You know what the regulations saying. You know who we don't run afoul of. I know you fucking lying. Bob go around there. Bob find out some fuck shit going on. Bob will tell me, hey, they count your days, gal, and keep your copy box. I don't know when, I don't know how, but Jesus better fix it or we out. Yeah, have a good night.